Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A real pleasure to have you here with us at London Film Festival. Maybe you could begin with a brief introduction to Audrey for people who don't know anything about it. What can they expect going in?
Well, it's Audrey is a dark comedy. Expect to laugh a lot. It's quite racy. Expect to be shocked. It's basically the story of a family whose teenage daughter ends up in a coma, and the family discover that their lives are much better without her.
I mean, such a unique concept and setting for a film. Where did you get the idea and why did you want to tell this story so much?
Well, it was written by Lou Sands, so I didn't get the idea. So the writer is Lou Sands, who's a very, very funny woman. You'd have to ask her where she got the idea from, but it's something that she'd been sitting with for a very long time. Over the years, would take out of the drawer, put back in, and she pitched it to me at a speed dating event for writers and producers. She was pitching me some. At the time, I was working for a television company more so than film, but I loved this film so much that I got attached to it. But originally as a consultant, and there was another director. But I really wanted this project. So at some point, that other director got busy, and I really relate to this as much as I'm not going to hurt anyone. I really relate to this character. I do. I see her selfishness. I understand it. I go, yeah, all right. When you're self-centered and you just want something so bad, you'll do anything to get it. You're so focused. I loved Lou's dark humor. She's a fantastic writer. She lands beautiful jokes and she creates fantastic characters.
And what is it about that kind of tone that can be so brilliant? I mean, maybe we can explore sort of the darkest parts of ourselves, and because it's through a comedic lens, it allows us to loosen up a little bit. So what did you like most about the tone, and were you taking kind of reference or inspiration from other kind of movies that might sit in this space?
Yeah, so I love this tone. I've worked a bit with it in television. I think it is, as you said, it's having that permission to laugh at things that we normally we'd be uncomfortable laughing at. So that's why it's wonderful also to see it in a cinema, because you're hearing everyone laugh, so you're going, oh, I can laugh too. Yeah, we see ourselves in there's so many times not so many times, but there's times when, because probably I don't have a kid, people will tell me things in confidence like, oh, my child's driving me nuts. And maybe they do with their other, mums and dads. Oh God, I just wish sometimes this, or whatever that. I've even heard people say, oh, the first child was so easy, and, this second child, I just wish we didn't have that second child. You're like, wow. So people say these things. It's not unheard of for people to say these things. So it's fantastic to explore our guilty secrets and have pleasure in it, because we'll never enact upon it. Yeah, sometimes it's fun to just sit in that space and go, what if? What if? And it all goes wrong. It's not worth doing. Tonally, other films I really love Todd Solondz. I really love Todd Solondz. He did Happiness and he did Welcome to the Dollhouse. He just landed those uncomfortable moments so beautifully with characters who are absolute bastards or weirdos or just so unhappy or just unlucky. Whatever it is, he just exposes human frailty so beautifully, which Lou does as well. So I saw that in her scripts. I was like, this is like a Todd Solondz. And Muriel's Wedding, which in Australia was such a big hit for us. So it's got that, Muriel's Wedding, we remember we remember the wedding, we remember the ABBA singing, but what we don't remember is there's really dark tones in there of suicides and mental health issues. It's really exciting to get to explore a film that has a similar tone.
What about your casting process? How did you decide it was going to be in the film? And I guess making sure people who are able to get this tone and land it on set too.
As I'm sure you're aware, the casting process takes a very long time. You've got to get agents and sales agents and whoever to agree on who you're choosing. So we were really lucky to get Jackie Van Beek on board. She's fantastic. She's a director and writer in her own right. We knew she played very well in this space. She's happy to take a risk. She really is. She'll just push and push and push. We couldn't have asked for her. She offers us such amazing things. There's a moment when she tongue into another actor's face in the film, and that's her. She will push it so far. She'll take it to the grotesque, and I love that about her. And we've Jeremy Lindsay Taylor's been around in television for a very long time in Australian film. But he's never played this role before, and it was really exciting. When he auditioned for it, he nailed it. I love him so much. He's such a sad clown that can then also be sexy. We love, the journey of Cormac so much, and he's brought it to life so beautifully. And then Hannah Diviney is only burst into to acting a year or two ago. We were lucky she came onto the scene at this time, because we've searched for her for a really long time. Writing a character with cerebral palsy, as Lou did, meant that it was quite a hard search, because unfortunately not many people with disability are encouraged to go in acting, or they don't see themselves on screen. So hopefully this also changed the landscape of that. And then obviously we have fantastic Josephine Blazier, who is brilliant at being a horrible teenager, but also we feel for her at times. She's got that complexity and that range to be able to love her and hate her.
And in the making of it, what were some of your favourite moments on set, or when you watch it back now, favourite scene, or did anything go wrong on the flip side?
Oh, there were times obviously when we, had no time to shoot things. When you're shooting something on the roof, it's very complex. Everyone's, attached by ropes, harnesses and things. There's a scene on the roof that we had to obviously pick up shots of it, the close shots in a studio. Those things are always terrible when you're like, is this going to match? But to me, my favourite scene is the one with Max and I'm nearly calling their actor names, and Nora, when he's trying to sexually get her, to be sexually involved with him, to get over the line, with being sexual with her. And I loved that scene so much, because we've all been, I think most women have probably been in this situation when we've been goaded into, someone's trying to goad you into having sex, especially as a teenager, and just the ego of that guy, what he says to Nora is terrible and funny at the same time. To say, so my favourite line is, "You're not in a coma, and that's why I think you and I might work." That's so sad. Is that why you're attracted to me? Because I'm not in a coma? How desperate. The men will go after anyone.
And finally, what do you hope people take away from watching the film, and what does it mean to you to have it here at London Film Festival?
I loved being at London Film Festival. I lived here for 14 years myself, so I feel like my sense of humour aligns really well with Londoners, with British people. So it was really great to sit in the audience and hear how much the audience laughed and enjoyed themselves. I want audiences to walk away and having felt like they had a good night out, for one thing, a good day out. That laughter is so enlivening, and I want them to be able to talk about what we feel as parents or as children, and talk about their guilty secrets, I suppose, their guilty feelings. Talk about your guilty feelings. Be able to share that, I felt that way, but to recognise ourselves in these characters, not go to these lengths that these characters do to have their lives back, but to recognise what we've given up and what our hopes and dreams are.
And finally, do you know what you're going to do next? Is it more film or more TV?
Both, I imagine, just because financially TV plays better. Is the truth. Yeah, and there's so many great stories being made in television, and now TV is a fantastic space as a director, and a lot of great actors are working, and great writers are working in that sphere. But I want to make more films.
And do you think there's almost more space maybe for female directors, or different stories to be told in TV? Sometimes film can still feel a little restricted.
No, I think both have, the capacity for female directors. I think we've come a long way. I don't know. I don't think there is anything blocking. I don't think there's anything stopping us from getting our stories told as women. I've been a director in television for, I don't know how long, nearly 20 years. And it's actually been something that's been encouraged. People seek out female directors. I think there's areas where they won't hire them for, which needs to change. So action films and action TV series, like thrillers, So it's changing that landscape. I'd love to do more thrillers. I like still having wit in the film, but yeah, if I like body counts, I like killing people.
Hopefully we'll see you doing that next then. Well, thank you so much for sharing all
Thank
that
you.
with me. Huge
Thank you.
congratulations on the film, and really
Thanks.
enjoy your rest of time here in London.
Thank you very much.